Beauty that comes from alignment shakes those built on illusions. They tried to dim you. Now they're squinting because your light is blinding. They tried to make you feel invisible. Now they can't take their eyes off you. They wanted you to disappear, but instead the universe made you magnetic, and it's driving them mad. See, they don't get it. Your glow isn't about your skin, your style, or your smile. It's energy, it's presence. It's the kind of beauty that can't be bought or imitated. It's what happens when the universe selects someone to reflect a higher frequency. And right now, you are that reflection. Before we go any deeper, hit that like button. When you do, you're not just supporting, you're helping push this message out to every chosen one still doubting their power. Subscribe if you're serious about this path, because when you engage, it tells the algorithm something big is happening here, and it is. Now let's lock in. The universe is making you more attractive, but not in the way people think. This isn't about trends or filters. This is a soul-level upgrade. You're becoming more attractive because your energy is no longer hiding. You're no longer shrinking. You're walking in truth. And truth is magnetic. Real recognizes real, and fake gets uncomfortable fast. They don't understand what's happening because attraction like this can't be explained. It's not what you wear, it's who you are becoming, and that's what scares them. People feel it before they see it. They sense something shifting in you, and they don't have the language for it. That's why they stare longer. That's why they act different. It's not just your appearance, it's your alignment that's catching attention. You carry the kind of energy that unsettles the insecure. Your presence exposes what they tried to keep buried. You're like a walking truth serum, and some people can't handle truth without feeling attacked. You need to understand something. Being chosen comes with a cost. The universe marked you not to blend in, but to stand out, to elevate, to reflect power in ways others can't. That makes you a target, but it also makes you unforgettable. Your enemies weren't just fighting you, they were resisting your light. And when that didn't work, they started talking, whispering, mocking, doubting. But what they didn't know is that the universe was quietly upgrading you the whole time. Every insult, every delay, every silent betrayal, all of it became fuel. And now, your glow-up is their karma. You are becoming the kind of attractive that breaks illusions. The kind of beautiful that makes people question everything fake they've ever accepted. That's why they're uncomfortable. That's why they're watching. That's why they don't understand what's happening, because they thought they buried you. But the universe was just planting you. Let this land. Your transformation is not about revenge, it's about revelation. You are the evidence that alignment creates attraction, that the universe rewards the real, that light cannot be hidden forever. So if you're feeling the shift, if people are acting strange, if old energies are falling away, if attention is coming from places you never expected, it's not random. It's the universe pulling the curtain back on who you really are. You were never meant to chase attention. You are the attention. Your glow-up is divine timing in motion, and they'll keep trying to figure it out. But they'll never understand it, because this kind of light isn't taught. It's chosen. So before we go further, take a moment and claim this shift. If you feel the changes, the way people look at you differently, the way rooms react when you walk in, drop the number 77 in the comments. That's how we signal this frequency to every other chosen one out there. Like the video if you're owning your glow up. Subscribe if you feel the universe moving in your favor. And now, let's get into it. Because if you really are chosen, you'll feel the pull to stay all the way through. Something powerful is waiting for you at the end. Number 1. Stop playing small. You were never built for the background. They tried to cut your wings, not knowing your spirit doesn't fly, it commands the wind. They tried to laugh at you, mock you, silence you, not realizing they were waking up something ancient in you, something chosen, something that doesn't bow to noise. And now that you've stopped apologizing for your light, they're twitching in the shadows they built for themselves. You see, when the universe marks you, it doesn't ask for your permission, and it definitely doesn't ask for their approval. It simply begins to move, quietly, relentlessly. And if they tried to stand in your way, if they threw shade, spread lies, plotted behind your back, they weren't going up against you. They were messing with the system, the universal order, and that system always recalibrates. They played themselves. Because now your glow is making them itch. You're not even trying, and yet your very presence is cracking the masks they wear. Your silence sounds like thunder to the ones who hoped you'd disappear. You don't need to say a word. Your alignment is speaking for you. But let's talk real for a moment. Some of you, the ones chosen, you still doubt. You still wonder if you're imagining the shifts, the stares, the unease people carry around you. You think maybe you're just being too sensitive or too full of yourself. Let me snap you out of that right now. You are not crazy. You're not imagining it. You're waking up to who you've always been, and they feel it before even you do. That energy you're carrying now, it's not arrogance, it's awareness. It's what happens when someone finally stops dimming their light for people who can't handle the shine. You've been conditioned to play small, to shrink so others wouldn't feel insecure. But ask yourself, why is your light a threat? Why does your confidence trigger silence? Why do they call you too much when you're finally just being yourself? Because they were never prepared for the real you. They only loved the version of you that was bent over, doubting, quiet, not the one rising with power in their steps and clarity in their eyes. You are walking proof that light doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be true. They don't know what to call it. They'll say you're different now, changed, too distant. But what they're really saying is this: I can't manipulate you anymore. You don't need my validation anymore. You scare me now because I can't recognize the version of you I once controlled. The universe doesn't choose people who want to stay invisible. It chooses warriors wrapped in soft skin. It chooses quiet storms. And when the time comes, it pushes them into visibility, even if it means shaking up everything around them. And that's what's happening now. The atmosphere shifts when you walk in, not because of your outfit, but because the frequency changed. You are literally vibrating higher, and they don't know how to respond to that. They stare longer. They stumble over their words. They feel the urge to mimic, copy, or criticize. But deep down they know, this isn't just confidence. This is alignment. This is something I can't fake. You've become the blueprint, and they hate that it came from someone they tried to break. But let me talk directly to you now, chosen one. Stop playing down your power. Stop asking for permission to be what the universe already confirmed you to be. You weren't made to blend. You weren't made to tone it down so others feel safe. You weren't picked to be polite. You were picked to shift the atmosphere. The worst thing you can do right now is dim your glow just to keep the peace. Peace built on your silence isn't peace. It's control, and you've outgrown it. Your aura is loud now. Your energy enters rooms before your body does. You speak with your presence. You influence without asking. You inspire without trying. And the ones still stuck in their own lies, they feel it, and it burns. You are attractive not because of surface-level things, but because your soul is in alignment. Your vibration is clean, your intentions are sharp. That's what draws attention. That's what magnetizes opportunities. That's why people keep watching. They don't understand what's happening because they thought attraction meant looks. But you're proof that real attraction is frequency. It's how you carry pain like power, how your silence is louder than their gossip, how your glow comes from surviving what would have crushed them. You became the thing they never saw coming. Not loud, not flashy, just undeniable. And for those still wondering if they're chosen, here's a test. Are people trying to dim you when you're just being yourself? Are you being attacked for standing in your truth? Do you feel like the room changes when you enter, not because of ego, but because the universe walks in with you? If yes, you already know. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them obsess over what's different about you. The truth is, they were never meant to understand. They were just meant to witness the rise. Because being chosen doesn't mean your life got easier. It means your enemies got louder. But guess what? The louder they get, the more obvious it becomes that you're evolving. You're not meant to explain the shift. You're meant to live it. So the next time you feel the urge to downplay your light, remember this. The same people who couldn't handle your truth will be the ones begging for your attention once the universe finishes what it started. Let them choke on the silence. Let them drown in the mystery. You don't owe anyone an explanation for becoming who you were always meant to be. And if you're still doubting whether you're chosen, look around. The universe doesn't make mistakes. Your glow-up was a divine setup. They don't understand what's happening, and they're not supposed to. But you do. So stop playing small, because the light you're trying to hide is the very reason the universe chose you. Number 2. You've become the storm they can't predict. You used to chase their approval. Now they flinch at your presence. That's not ego, that's evolution. In a world addicted to masks, you're the unfiltered truth walking in broad daylight. And they don't know what to do with that. You don't blend, you don't pretend, you don't shrink yourself to fit into rooms that were never built for you. That makes you a threat, not because you're loud, not because you're showing off, but because you're real. And in this plastic reality they've built, real is rare, real is dangerous. The truth? You've become the mystery that no one can decode. They feel your energy before they hear your voice. You step into a room and silence ripples through it, not out of fear, but reverence. Because energy like yours doesn't just arrive, it announces itself. But let's clear something up. This magnetism, this power, this pull, it didn't fall into your lap. It was earned, forged in the kind of loneliness that breaks most people. Built in those quiet nights when you questioned everything, when you cried alone, when you fought battles with no audience and came out standing. This isn't luck. This isn't some surface glow-up. This is depth meeting alignment. This is survival turned into shine, and they feel it. Even if they can't explain it, they feel it in their bones. Your energy doesn't ask for attention. It commands it. And it terrifies them because it reflects everything they're not. You are the embodiment of what they tried to suppress in themselves: courage, truth, presence. You used to be the one they overlooked, the one they doubted, the one they whispered about. Now, you've become a question mark they can't answer, a vibration they can't match, a force they can't manipulate. And here's what they won't say out loud. They miss the version of you that didn't know your worth, the one that played small, the one that second-guessed. That version was easier to handle. This one, This version burns through illusions. This one sees too clearly, moves too boldly, speaks too little, but says everything. You've stopped chasing validation, and that alone makes you magnetic. There's something deeply attractive about a soul that knows its own value. You're not performing for attention anymore. You're not pretending to be okay. You've stripped off the need to be liked, and what's left is someone so authentic that it shakes people to their core. Because people are used to noise, used to filters, used to pretty lies wrapped in performance. But you walk in as you are. No filter, no front, just fire. And they hate that they can't define it. They'll call you cold, different, distant, full of yourself. But deep down, they know it's not distance, it's depth. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. It's not that you've changed, it's that you've arrived. You no longer ask, do they like me? Now, the question is, do they even deserve access to this version of me? That's power, not the kind that dominates, the kind that disorients, that confuses the people who still live in shallow waters while you've already dived into the deep. You've become attractive in a way they can't copy, can't study, can't fake. Because this kind of beauty, the real kind, is internal. It's spiritual, it's vibrational, it's the alignment of energy and purpose. And that scares the hell out of anyone still living a lie. They don't know what to call it, but they will remember how it felt. The way their insecurities screamed louder in your calm. The way their chaos looked foolish next to your peace. The way their gossip faded in the presence of your stillness. You don't need to defend your glow anymore. Let them misinterpret it. Let them call it mysterious. Let them whisper. Because while they talk, the universe moves. While they stare, your light expands. While they plot, your power grows. And to you, yes, you, the chosen one who still sometimes doubts, stop questioning your gift. Stop trying to fit into a world you were sent to transform. You were never meant to be understood by those who live in fear. You were meant to remind them, without saying a word, that evolution exists. That light can walk in human form. And it has your face. They didn't see it before, but now they feel it. And they'll never forget what it felt like when your frequency walked in and rearranged the atmosphere forever. Number 3, real don't beg. It radiates. When the whole world zigs, you zag, and they stare, not because you're wrong, but because deep down they wish they had the courage to do the same. You want to know what your real glow-up is? It's not the skin, the clothes, or the way you move. It's the nerve, the absolute defiance of showing up in a world that's dying for sameness, as yourself. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you magnetic. That's what makes you chosen. Everyone else is playing dress-up, painting on personalities, parroting trends, reciting opinions they don't even believe in just to stay liked, followed, accepted. And here you are, showing up raw, real, and unapologetically untamed. You're not adjusting your tone for their comfort. You're not bending your truth to blend in. You are the shift they can't explain. Your authenticity, it's not a branding strategy. It's not some curated rebellion. It's a frequency, a signal, and the world doesn't know how to process someone who isn't performing. You don't wear a mask. You burn them just by walking into the room. People don't stare at you because you're trying to be seen. They stare because something about you can't be ignored. You've become a living contradiction, peaceful but powerful, grounded but unshakable, quiet but unforgettable. That's the energy that sends whispers flying behind your back. Not because you're weak, but because you've stopped needing their validation to breathe. And that unnerves people. It confuses them. Because most folks have built their entire identity off of approval, off of likes, off of what they're told to be. But you walked away from all of that. You unplugged from the matrix of performance. You stopped needing a green light from the crowd just to take a step forward. And let me tell you, when you stop waiting for permission, you become unstoppable. They don't know how to mold you anymore. They can't predict your next move. They can't guilt you, flatter you, bait you. None of it works now, because you've seen behind the curtain. You've tasted what it means to be aligned, and now anything fake just tastes like poison. Your truth is your armor. Your authenticity is your attraction. You're not magnetic because you follow trends. You're magnetic because you don't need them. You're not chasing algorithms. You are the algorithm. You bend the room, not the other way around. And here's the twist. People admire it in public and envy it in private. They'll watch you closely, study you, mimic your style, repeat your words. But the one thing they can't duplicate, your alignment. Because authenticity isn't something you wear, it's something you are. You're not just attractive, you're agitating. You're triggering people who haven't figured themselves out yet. You're waking up people who've been asleep in roles they never even chose. You make the fake uncomfortable. You make the insecure question everything they've built. And that's real power. But don't get it twisted. That power came with a price. There were moments you were isolated, misunderstood, left out, laughed at. You were the one who stood alone when everyone else bowed. You weren't always clapped for, and yet, here you are, still standing, still glowing, still real, and now the same people who once looked down on you can't stop looking up. You didn't have to raise your voice. You didn't have to fight for the spotlight. The universe did the heavy lifting. All you had to do was stop pretending. Now look at the shift. You've gone from too much to what's the secret? From weird to inspiring, from outcast to blueprint. So here's the truth. Whether they like it or not, authenticity always wins. It might not win fast, it might not win loud, but it always wins in the end. And you, chosen one, you didn't just survive in a world of replicas. You stood out by being the rarest thing left, yourself. So keep showing up, unfiltered, unbothered, untamed. They'll never understand how the universe wrapped so much power in someone so real. And they don't need to. They just need to watch. Because you were never made to audition. You were made to arrive. Number 4. Your presence is a mirror, and not everyone likes what they see. You didn't walk in to impress them, but suddenly everyone forgot how to act. That's not attention. That's your aura working in silence. You have to understand something deep and often uncomfortable. Your presence doesn't just enter a room, it rearranges it. Not because you speak loudly or dress boldly or demand attention, but because your energy says what your mouth doesn't need to. You've become healing in human form, and the wildest part? You didn't ask for it. You didn't go looking for it. The universe assigned it to you because it knew you could carry it. Your presence disrupts the fake. It short-circuits performance. It causes the people who've been hiding behind masks for years to suddenly feel seen without you even trying. You walk in, and suddenly they start questioning themselves. Not because you judged them, but because your authenticity reflected what they were missing. You don't heal people by fixing them. You do it by being so honest in who you are that it liberates everyone else to stop pretending. You don't preach, your presence does. And trust this, they feel it. They don't know why they're drawn to you. They don't have the words for it. They just know that something about you is different, magnetic, real. And that realness isn't just attractive, it's disarming. It softens the ego. It makes them put their walls down without realizing it. But it also terrifies them, because the light that heals is the same light that exposes. And not everyone is ready to be seen. Some people are addicted to their roles, to being the loud one, the pretty one, the successful one, the victim, the savior. They wear their identities like armor. But you walk in unarmored, open, aligned, and that shakes the performance right off them. You've become the unintentional therapist, the quiet rebel, the one people come to when their soul needs truth, even if they can't admit that out loud. And you carry it so gracefully that they mistake it for luck. They don't see the weight it took to walk like this. They don't see the wounds you turned into wisdom. They just see someone who feels like peace, and they want some. But don't get it twisted. Your presence might be healing, but it's not always welcome. Because healing hurts before it helps. And you, chosen one, are not just light. You're a mirror. You show people who they are without ever pointing a finger. And that kind of reflection can either awaken or offend. Some will love you for it. Some will resent you for it. Both reactions are proof that your energy is working. You didn't choose to be magnetic. It chose you. And the irony. The less you care about being seen, the more impossible you are to ignore. You're not chasing recognition. You're not shouting to be heard. You just are. And the universe backs that energy with a force no trend can match. Let them chase popularity. Let them exhaust themselves creating versions of themselves to stay liked, to be relevant, to fit in. You already won the moment you decided to stop performing. You already transcended when you stopped asking for permission and just became you. And yes, sometimes it gets lonely. Being real in a world built on illusion will cost you friends, attention, and comfort. But it will buy you peace, power, and presence that can't be fabricated. You're not rebellious. You're aligned. You're not trying to be different. You just are. And that alone is the highest act of defiance in a world that tells you to conform. Your presence heals because it speaks a language people forgot how to understand. Truth. Not sugar-coated, not diluted, just raw soul-level authenticity. And it resonates with the parts of them they abandoned a long time ago. So let them whisper, let them copy, let them misunderstand you. You don't need to be understood to be impactful, you just need to be. You are not a trend, you are not a phase, you are not an aesthetic. You are the reminder that truth never goes out of style. It just becomes harder to find. They'll never be able to imitate the power you carry, because this kind of magnetism doesn't come from attention. It comes from alignment. And alignment, that's eternal. So keep walking in your calm. Keep radiating without asking. Keep healing by just being whole. They'll never figure it out, but they'll never forget how it made them feel. Number 5. You see what others pretend to hide. They wear masks. You read souls. That's not intuition. That's your inheritance. There's something about you that unsettles people, and it's not your words, your look, or your presence. It's what you see without being told. You walk into a room and feel it before you hear it. The tension, the energy, the discomfort, the envy, the lies people try to paint over with pretty words. You don't need conversation to read someone. Their silence screams louder than their mouths ever could. And while most people miss the shift in tone or the glance that lingers too long, you catch it all, effortlessly. That's not coincidence. That's not something you learned. That's the gift. That's intuition in its highest form. That's the universe whispering in a language only the chosen can hear. You don't decode moods. You feel them. You don't guess motives. You sense them in your body. It's visceral, deep, unshakable. And it scares the hell out of people who've spent their entire lives hiding behind masks. You've become the kind of person who can look someone in the eyes and see the war behind their smile. You can sit in silence and feel what someone's too afraid to speak. You recognize the pain they dressed in sarcasm, the insecurity they tried to mask with ego, the guilt hiding beneath the over-apologies. And when you call it out, not always with words, but just with presence, it disarms them. Because being around you means being seen, really seen. And most people don't know how to handle that. They're used to blending in, used to controlling the narrative, used to hiding their chaos behind curated performances. But your intuition doesn't care about performance. It pierces through it like a blade. It notices what others overlook. It listens beyond words. And that kind of vision, that kind of awareness, it haunts them. You're not just emotionally intelligent, you're spiritually in tune. Your nervous system speaks to the frequency of the room before your mind even catches up. That's why you get drained easily. That's why you walk away from conversations feeling heavy. You've been absorbing storms that weren't yours just by being present. And they call it sensitivity. They call it paranoia. They say you're too deep. But the truth is, they don't like that they can't hide from you. They don't like that you know before they speak, that your intuition pulls truth from beneath their well-rehearsed lines, that you read between the pauses and pick up what they buried a long time ago. And you start doubting yourself. You think maybe you're overthinking, too emotional, too intense. But here's the reality. You're not too much. You're just tuned in. What others brush off as vibes or weird feelings, you've learned to trust. Because every time you ignored your gut, it cost you. Every time you gave someone the benefit of the doubt, even when your spirit screamed otherwise, it burned you. And now you don't ask for signs. You are the sign. Let them misunderstand it. Let them call it spooky, weird, strange. That sensitivity you carry, it's not a weakness. It's a weapon, a radar the universe gave you to navigate a world full of liars and illusions, a built-in truth detector that doesn't miss. And that kind of inner compass is more valuable than any degree, status, or title. It's why strangers open up to you, why people you barely know confess their pain, why enemies soften in your presence without understanding why. You create a space that feels safe and confronting. You make people feel like they can be real, even when they're scared of what that means. Because your energy tells the truth before you even open your mouth. This is why your presence is so attractive. Because in a world that's starving for real connection, you provide it just by existing. This is why you're unforgettable. Because people never forget the one person who made them feel seen without judgment. This is why they don't understand what's happening. Because they thought attraction was about looks, status, charm. But you proved it's about depth, frequency, vision. You don't just walk into rooms, you expose what's hiding in them. And not everyone will love that, but the ones who are ready to heal. They'll never forget how you made them feel. You didn't ask for this gift, but it's yours. And the more you trust it, the more unstoppable you become. Number 6. You're the reflection that reveals what they're running from. You didn't expose them. Your presence just removed the option to hide. That's not manipulation. That's clarity. Let's make this clear. Your intuition isn't just something that helps you survive. It's something that forces others to face themselves. You're not just gifted, you're reflective. A mirror wrapped in skin, a quiet truth that walks into the room and strips away illusion like it's nothing. And people feel it. Some of them will be drawn to it, starved for something real, something unfiltered. Others, they'll flinch. They'll get defensive. They'll blame you for the discomfort they're feeling when really, You didn't say a word. You didn't judge. You didn't attack. You just existed. And that was enough to unsettle everything fake in them. Because when they look at you, they see who they could have been if they stopped lying to themselves. You are the mirror they never asked for, but now can't avoid. Most people don't want to be seen. Not truly. They want to be praised, validated, admired. But to be seen, to have someone look at them and notice what's buried under the surface. The fear, the bitterness, the guilt, the insecurity. That's terrifying. And you, chosen one, don't just see it. You feel it. You sense it. You call it forward with your stillness, not even trying. They start talking too much around you, start confessing things they didn't plan to say. Their walls fall without warning, and they walk away asking themselves, what just happened? You know what happened. Your frequency met theirs and shook the illusion right out of it. And that's what makes your presence so dangerous to the wrong people. You don't manipulate with what you pick up. You honor it. You don't weaponize truth. You hold it. And still, it scares them, because they're used to people who exploit weakness. They don't know what to do with someone who sees it and responds with silence instead of judgment. You are what they've never encountered. Someone who can't be played, can't be fooled, and yet isn't cruel. That kind of power, it lingers. People walk away from you different. Whether they admit it or not, they felt something. And sometimes that's exactly why they disappear. They don't ghost you because you did something wrong. They back off because you saw too much. You held up a mirror and made them look. And most people aren't ready to be that honest with themselves. You weren't made to live on the surface. You're not wired for shallow conversation or small talk. You crave the real, the raw, the unsaid. And that's why people keep coming back. They don't understand it. They can't explain it. But around you, they feel like their soul gets a breath of fresh air, even if it stings a little first. And that's the paradox. You heal and challenge at the same time. You comfort and confront. You don't try to fix people. You just allow them to see themselves clearly, maybe for the first time in their lives. That's what makes you attractive. That's what makes you unforgettable. That's what they can't explain but can't escape. You see the person beneath the presentation. You hear the insecurity behind the ego. You feel the fear behind the control. And you never say a word unless it's time. You let truth speak when it's ready. But your presence already whispered it long before. This is why you're not meant for everyone. This is why your circle is small and your silence is heavy. You carry truth, not as a weapon, but as a mirror. And the real ones? They'll recognize it. The rest? They'll run from it. Don't dim that part of yourself. Don't try to unsee what you've always been wired to notice. That mirror isn't just your burden, it's your brilliance. It's the reason the universe keeps aligning people to you. Not because you can save them, but because you can reflect them. And for some, that's the first step toward transformation. You're not a threat, you're a revelation. You're not cold, you're clarity. You're not too deep, they're just too shallow to swim where you live. So stand in it, own it, protect it. You're not meant to explain your reflection. Just hold it up and let the truth handle the rest. Number 7, your boundaries are a language. Only the real ones understand. You didn't change the rules, you just stopped playing their game. And now your silence says everything they never wanted to hear. There's a new kind of energy around you now, one that stops people mid-sentence, one that makes them hesitate before they approach, question themselves before they speak, and think twice before they try you. And the wild part? You didn't raise your voice, You didn't start some loud campaign of self-respect. You simply shifted, and the whole room felt it. That's what happens when a chosen one finally understands their worth. When the universe sharpens your awareness and removes your tolerance for anything beneath your frequency. You've stopped explaining yourself, stopped giving people play-by-plays of your decisions, stopped offering closure to the ones who only showed up to confuse you. And now, that silence, that detachment, that stillness, it's louder than any speech you could have given. It echoes, it radiates, it draws a clear, invisible line. And suddenly, those who used to test your limits are walking on eggshells around your presence. Not because you've become mean, but because you've become clear. That's the kind of boundary they don't see coming. The unspoken one. The one that isn't written, shouted, or justified. The one that lives in your energy and does all the talking for you. You didn't have to block them. You didn't need to write a long post about cutting people off. You didn't need a dramatic exit. You just changed your access code. And now, the door doesn't open like it used to. That's the power of someone who's done explaining their value to people who never had the capacity to see it in the first place. Your aura evolved, and the room noticed. Not because you said anything, but because your energy now carries a level of self-respect that no longer negotiates with chaos. People feel it before they realize it. They feel the chill in the air when their old tactics stop working. They feel the silence after trying to guilt you and realizing you're not biting. They feel the weight of your absence before they even process that they lost access to you. Your boundaries aren't just protective, they're transformative. They teach without lectures. They confront without conflict. They expose without trying. And the ones who once had unchecked access to you, they're shook. You don't have to say, "I'm done." Your peace says it for you. You don't have to say, "I'm not tolerating this anymore." Your absence screams it. That's what makes your presence so powerful now. It doesn't flex, it doesn't fight. It just stands, solid, silent, unmoved. And that scares people who were used to the version of you that over-explained, over-gave, over-loved, overcompensated. They're not ready for this version, the one who doesn't chase closure, the one who walks away with grace and doesn't look back. They call it cold, they call it distant. They say, "You've changed." And they're absolutely right. You changed the channel. You changed the access. You changed from being reactive to being rooted. And rooted, people don't get dragged. You don't owe them softness just because they knew a softer version of you. You don't owe anyone a seat just because they once sat at your table. And you definitely don't owe explanations for choosing your peace over their patterns. Let them whisper, let them wonder, let them try to decode the silence. Because what they're really feeling isn't rejection. It's the shock of losing the power they once had over you. Your energy now says, "I've seen too much, I've felt too much, and I've grown too much." You're not angry, you're aware, you're not distant, you're done. And no, you're not bitter, you're just clear. This is what happens when a chosen one stops begging to be seen and starts choosing who gets to see them. You're not blocking blessings, you're protecting them. You're not avoiding people, you're avoiding the ones who dim your clarity. And they don't get to question your standards when they never respected your soul. So stand on it. Don't shrink. Don't apologize. Let your boundaries speak. Because they say everything your mouth no longer needs to. You've become unshakable. And now they don't know how to move around you. Good. That's exactly where your power begins. Number 8. You didn't just glow up. You activated. They thought it was your looks. They thought it was a trend. They thought it was something they could copy, but what's happening to you can't be bought, styled, or faked, because it's not cosmetic, it's cosmic. There's something different about you, something they can't quite name, but they feel it. It's in the way you walk into a room. It's in the weight of your silence. It's in your stare, your stillness, your sovereignty. And no, it's not your outfit, not your makeup, not your haircut. It's something ancient, something universal, something chosen. You didn't just glow up, you grew up. You healed, you shed, you broke patterns, you burned bridges that were keeping you small, and you did it all in silence, with no applause, no spotlight, and no handouts. Now that light they see in you, that magnetism they can't put into words, it's not from some self-help trend, it's not a confidence hack. It's the residue of resilience. It's the shine of someone who made it out of the darkness without losing their softness. It's the glow of someone who learned to sit with their shadows until they became a source of strength. They keep staring because they sense something is different, but they can't figure out what changed. You didn't buy it. You didn't announce it. You didn't post about it. But it radiates. It moves through your aura like a storm that passed and left the land more fertile than before. You're not trying to be noticed, but presence like yours doesn't hide. You've become undeniable, not because you're louder, but because you're clearer. Clarity is attractive. Stillness is attractive. Peace is magnetic. And you wear all of it like skin now. It's not that you want attention, it's that your frequency pulls it whether you ask for it or not. That's what happens when the universe reprograms you from within. You don't have to prove you've changed. Your energy walks in and does the talking. You're not glowing because you've had it easy. You're glowing because you earned this radiance. Because you went through things people wouldn't believe if they saw the highlight reel. Because you spent years in internal warfare, rewriting beliefs, unlearning patterns, forgiving yourself for who you had to be just to survive. This kind of glow doesn't come from comfort. It comes from confrontation. Confronting who you were, confronting who you're not, confronting who you're becoming. And now that the storm has passed, your light doesn't need to shout. It just exists. And people feel it before you speak. It's no longer about looking good, it's about feeling aligned. And when alignment happens, when soul, mind, and energy finally link up, it shows in your walk, in your tone, in your eyes. They're not just deeper, they're older. They carry the wisdom of every heartbreak, betrayal, loss, and silent night you turned into a lesson. This is why people react differently to you now. This is why some are drawn to you like gravity, and others pull away like you're holding a mirror they're not ready to look into. You didn't upgrade for clout, you evolved for survival. And now you're living proof that transformation is not about aesthetics, it's about energy. Yes, they'll try to imitate it. Yes, they'll try to copy your tone, your posture, your phrases, but what they'll never touch is the process. The part of you that was carved out in isolation. The part of you that glows because you made peace with your past, not because you painted over it. This is why they don't understand what's happening, because they're still trying to find the formula. And you've already become the result. You don't need to convince anyone that you've changed. You are the evidence. You don't need to scream that you're chosen. Your aura already whispered it before you entered the room. You're not cosmetic. You're cosmic. You're the walking proof that the universe upgrades those who do the inner work and doesn't wait for permission to let them shine. Let them wonder. Let them stare. Let them search for the source of your glow, because the truth is, they'll never find it. Not in a store. Not in a filter. Not in a trend. They'll never find it because it lives where they haven't dared to go, within. So, as we wrap this up, understand this. What they're sensing in you isn't something they can touch. It's something they feel. The universe has elevated you, refined you, and now your energy is undeniable. You are not just glowing, you are radiating purpose. Let them stare, let them wonder. You're not here to be understood, you're here to be remembered. If this message resonated, like the video, subscribe to stay aligned with this frequency, and drop the number 77 in the comments to claim your power. Share this with another chosen one. Let the energy keep circulating.